Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we're going to take a look at the 2023 Cadillac CT5 V Blackwing. Huge shout out to Carolina Auto Direct for providing this straight sleeper sedan for me today. They're always getting it some awesome, pretty much brand new inventory. That link is down below. This Blackwing is finished off in radiant red. They have a starting MSRP right around $93,000. Powering the Blackwing is a 6.2 liter supercharged V8 paired to either the 10-speed auto or the 6-speed manual. This pumps out 668 horsepower, 659 pound-feet of torque. That power sent through the all-wheel drive system, propelling this 4,100-pound sedan from 0 to 60 in the low 3-second range up to its top speed of just under 200 miles an hour. Now this has a fuel capacity of 17 gallons. You'll expect to see around 13 miles per gallon in the city, 21 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 116 inches. Its overall length is 194.4. It has a width of 74.1 and a height of 56.5 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this V Blackwing, let's start off with all the V logos that are up front. So with the Cadillac badge front and center, which is also a sensor, there's the camera just underneath that, but check out the design in this mesh. Everything comes to a point like a V, including the bottom of the Cadillac badge. Very nice to see that subtle integration. The entire grille surround is finished off in gloss black, which is a nice touch, along with the rest of the gloss black accents that are up front. Now this also has LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals. Very iconic for Cadillac to have the vertical DRL and turn signal split with the bodywork, very thin upper housings, which I think give it an incredibly sleek design. More gloss black for that front diffuser and subtle lines coming down the hood. Definitely give this an aggressive front end. There's parking sensors and tons of inlets on both sides. Now moving to the side, this has a staggered setup for the wheels, 19 by 10 up front, 19 by 11 in the rear, hiding those massive brake calipers finished off in red to match this exterior. Really cool two-tone design. You really wouldn't think this is a highly performance-oriented vehicle. Very luxurious from the outside with all that power on the inside. There's a V badge along with the power folding side mirrors. They have the two-tone design to them with a camera system and the turn signal. The base is gloss black to match the rest of the window trim as well as the lower side skirt. There's also a small trim accent just behind that front tire and a very sleek side design. Nothing too aggressive aside from that lower side skirt there. Very clean lines running throughout the rest of it. And then for the rear, subtle trunk mounted spoiler. There's gloss black right in the middle of the trunk, LED taillights, camera with all these sensors, that quad tip dual exhaust, and more gloss black for the lower diffuser. Now you can get some carbon fiber goodies for the V Blackwing. This one is a little bit more on that subtle side with all the gloss black and the body colored accents. Now as we work our way to the trunk, it's not power operated. You can use the button on the key fob, however, to get the trunk into this position. But with it open, there's actually a ton of space. There's a box in the back just to show you how large the amount of space is. But with these shots here, there's a little bit of storage underneath the floor if you need to utilize that. With everything empty, this gives you a little bit better of an idea of how large the cargo space is. And then of course you can fold down the back seats too if you need that much more space. Very usable for this family style vehicle. There is one grab handle up top, so it is easy to close that trunk. And as we work our way to the interior, there's two things about this door handle I want to point out. Actually three. One is there's ambient lighting on the exterior, so at nighttime you'll be able to see where the door handle is. Two is that the door handle is actually fixed, so you have to push on this electronic button on the inside to release the door. So the door handle doesn't actually separate from the bodywork, which is a neat design to see. And for the interior, there's Alcantara, leather, carbon fiber, brushed aluminum, and a little bit of space down below. It's a beautiful design. That design carries its way to these leather seats with the red seat belts. Interesting, the middle seat belt is not red, but nonetheless, you have the red seat belts. You have a V logo in the Alcantara on the backs of these front seats, which is incredibly nice. Air vents and some auxiliaries in the middle. Plenty of space for me at 5'10", even maybe half an inch or so. My head's touching a little bit on the back side with this Alcantara headliner. I have plenty of room. I could easily ride around in the back. Now right in the middle, there's the armrest with 2 cup holders and a good amount of visibility for your backseat passengers. Now as we work our way to the driver door panel, same as the rear, however there's the memory seating adjustments, the trunk release, window controls, side mirror adjustments as well, and then the power operated front seats have a great design to them. I do wish there was some Alcantara on the front, so that way you could at least see it somewhat, but nonetheless, it's a great seat. Now we have a solid leather steering wheel. We have a badge down below with the carbon fiber red stripe right in the middle. Let's fire this up though, because these sound incredibly good. With my foot on the brake, time to bring it to life. And coming back to the gauge cluster, you will notice up top there's a cool diagram with the V logo right in the middle. RPM is just underneath that. Vitals are on the left side, what gear you're in, and miles per hour in the center, and then some more info over on that right side. Now I can use the controls on the right side of the steering wheel to further go through that, where there's volume as well and some other tuning adjustments. So currently we are in the driver assistance. If I scroll over, there's audio, there's also the navigation and phone. You can look at the maintenance, so you can monitor all of these vitals just to make sure everything is doing okay. You have different options that you can go through as well. So you can even pull up the head-up display and a few others here. If I go into the display theme, we are currently on the track setting. So I can go into sport mode, where the entire gauge cluster will change. And now we have a little bit different of a view. There's also a touring mode too, so a little bit more laid back, a little bit more daily driving information like the time, outside temperature. I think track is, of course, the coolest setting to go with. And then once we get back into that, we can keep going through these. We have the simplify setting, so it basically hides all of the info on the left and the right side. And then we can go all the way back to the performance, so we can monitor lap timers, your G-force meter, there's 0 to 60, even launch control, which is pretty sweet to have. And then there's the trip information, and then some other information that you can go through, the electronic limited slip, there's engine boost, oil temperature, and a few others. So really neat to see that amount of tech in the gauge cluster. Now this also has steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. On the left side, there's cruise and adaptive cruise, heated steering wheel, Bluetooth and voice commands, the V button down below, which will change the info on the gauge cluster. So you will see how everything is currently set up. And then over on the right side, this is the toggle for the different performance settings. So there's inactive, there's also wet, there's dry, and sport, and then race 1 and race 2. This will also change traction control. As you can currently see, it just turned it off. So you have a few different settings to drive this around. Now on the left side, there's the head-up display along with the e-brake and a dimmer switch for the gauges. The head-up display is currently just showing miles per hour, but if I click on info, now I can pull up the tach, which is running across, and that is all that you get. So either miles per hour or the tach front and center. Now right in the middle, as you can tell, hopefully, the infotainment system is actually angled away from the driver's seat. So it is up slightly instead of being up and down. But nonetheless, we are looking at navigation right now. If I go into home, there are various icons to go through. There's apps, Android Auto, there's also the climate adjustments, navigation, you can get into settings, the camera system, and then there's also the split view, so you can monitor both of these at once. There's also shortcuts to get into your climates, your navigation, your phone, and your audio as well. So it's pretty simple, but it's easy to go through. Everything is laid out incredibly well. There's also a home button right in the middle, 2 air vents below that, and then you'll notice too the V accents bring their way into the interior. So all of the toggles come to a point right in the middle in the downwards angle to form a small V, where with all of these toggles, we have all the climate adjustments, fan speed and temperature dials are in the middle. There's some sync and defrosters over on that right side. And then this even has heated and ventilated seats. So those are for driver and passenger. You can turn on and off the parking sensors as well as the lane keeping assist. There's even the 360 camera system. So there's the top-down view. We're currently looking at the forward-facing angle. So that is the rear camera. We have some top-downs for front and rear, and then even being able to use the side mirrors. You can also adjust the guidelines and even take that top-down view away. So you can bring everything up in full screen or have the combo between the two. If you push on that button again, it doesn't seem to do anything, so in order to get out of that, we will just click on home there. This does have a wireless charging pad, and then in front of the shifter, there's the auto hold for the e-brake, there's also traction control, and then different modes will get you to the steering wheel settings there that I showed earlier. Now for the shifter, releases on the left side. Pushing it forwards will bring up that camera. By going to drive, now of course we have the forward-facing camera. If you pull on the lever one more time without using that release, that pops it into M mode. So now you can use those paddle shifters, and then park is located on the top. Now if you don't want to use that as a touchscreen system, you have shortcuts down below to easily get to all this information. And you also have volume and tuning for the audio, as well as back in a Bluetooth control. So it's very nice to see that. More carbon fiber surrounds all of those controls. There are 2 cup holders next to that, along with a little bit of space in front of the armrest. If I open this up to the side, you will notice you can get better access to that. You could place your phone there if needed. Would be cool to see maybe another wireless charging pad, or have the wireless charging here and have that for extra space. But either way, you have some room there, you have some more auxiliaries, and a good amount of space along with the glove box area. And we'll take another look at the Alcantara headliner and visibility. Seems to be pretty open for this interior. And then up top, there's the dome lights, garage door buttons, and then some OnStar and safety controls too. As we set up now behind the wheel of this pretty much 6-figure Cadillac sedan, I've been able to drive the V Blackwing before. We had a blue manual for the week, and that was one of the most fun manuals that I have been able to drive. This is a straight sleeper in a sense, because when you think of Cadillac, you think of ultra refined, ultra luxurious, which this is. However, we have that power underneath the hood, so you can take this to the drag strip, the racetrack, mountain roads. You can have the best of both. You can have that luxury and you can have that performance, which I think is a really good blend. 100 grand is a lot for a sedan, but when you factor in what this is capable of and how it can be just a normal, everyday, daily driver, this is a really cool option. So let's pop it into V mode. I actually adjusted everything to track mode now, so I'm not sure if that's going to change the exhaust. But here we go. You know, mild acceleration, maybe there's some pops on the downshifts. Those shifts are quick. Now, I'm not doing its full potential. If you want to see us in the manual CT5 V Blackwing, check out that video, because we took it to the mountains and really opened it up. That was just a phenomenal car to take on some tight twisties. I won't be doing that today, of course, so check out that video if you'd like to see how that performs. So it is nice that you have 2 different options. Cadillac is still offering the manual transmission for those of you who love some 3-pedal action. I thought it was the best manual. 10-speed though is really good. It's super quick and responsive. Shifts are lightning quick, so if you want to do maybe some drag racing or something like that, you have a very quick transmission to go with. And so with another acceleration, it's not crazy loud. It's still going though. If I put it back into a normal now, I think we still have the exhaust on. But it's not that loud. So while it is a luxury focused sedan, you know what you're buying, so you want that exhaust note. But just cruising, it's not a loud drone exhaust. Like it's something that's going to be incredibly comfortable while you're driving your 6-figure Caddy. It is so smooth to drive though. It's very comfortable. No road noise, wind noise. It's what you would expect from a Cadillac. And from second gear, here we go. We got some pops in that exhaust. Definitely sounds really good. So here's what it's like to be behind the wheel of pretty much a 6-figure Cadillac. the CT5 V Blackwing. There are a lot more options that you can get. This is missing some carbon fiber accents that we had on the one for the week. And so a little bit more on that subtle laid back look without some of the carbon fiber. But nonetheless, you have a really, really cool family style vehicle. Now, I say that in a lot of performance-oriented sedans that they're family focused. This is absolutely a family vehicle. If you want that extra power, why not just have a sedan like a normal sedan, like a Camry, but now you have a sedan with the performance and power that you want. So this is a family sedan for somebody who wants that power, who wants to go have fun driving, but you may not want a second vehicle for that. You want to have something that your kids can go with you in, and you can still do this. I think it's the best of both worlds. And if you want the manual too, opting for that is definitely a cool option. So again, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a huge thumbs up. Check out Carolina Auto Direct because they are always getting in some awesome vehicles. That link is down in the description. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to smash that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on our daily uploads. And I will see you all in the next video.